All right, y'all. Hope y'all excited to paint Candy Cane Bubbly today. All the supplies we are going to need, let's go over that right now. Something to paint on. I'm going to use an 8x10 canvas panel. You can also use mixed media paper, which is what I typically use. And that's what this was doing on. So something to paint on. You could even use cardboard if you want to. It don't even matter. Paint colors. I'm going to do this carefully so these don't drip. Red, yellow, blue, black, and white. And of course, a paint palette. So something to put them on. I just got this little foam tray. You're going to need a cup of water. I would say, let me turn, my volume keeps coming up. Evelyn from Evanston, hey. All right, and then we need, oh, y'all almost knocked this on my lap. I should probably put an apron on, but we're going to try not to. Brushes, you need large flat, medium flat, and small round brush. El Presidente from Lansing, hey. I already said a cup of water. I got some glitter glue. This is going to help us at the end to, make it sparkle. Paper towels and canvas panel. Hey. And for my family joining in, supporting, hey, I love y'all. Y'all do not have to stay this whole time if y'all not painting. Y'all feel free to watch me. It's going to be about an hour and a half, 2 hours though. But don't feel like you have to stay the whole time. There will be a replay. But I appreciate y'all being here. All right, let me check the time. 5:06. Okay, more and more people coming in. All right. I usually like to wait 10 minutes. I usually give it 10 minutes because people got to get their cameras working, supplies gathered, all of that stuff. So now let me bring up my other screen too. So for those of you who just came in, you can kind of see what supplies you need before I get started. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Jess. All right. Okay, paper towel. Got that. Okay. Bethany from Chicago. Hey. Thanks for joining. Okay. Okay, let's see. Got it. All right, so here are our supplies. Miss Ann from Lansing, hey. Y'all so funny. Oh my goodness. All right, so I got the supplies out. Okay. So then, all right, I'm gonna give us a couple more minutes. I'm gonna double check my sound because I'm hearing a little echo, so I'm gonna fix that really quick. Okay. All right. Yes, I'm loving these comments. Hey, everybody. We're just waiting a couple of minutes, getting everybody a chance to come in. 2 more minutes. I always give the first 10 minutes for people to come in, say hey, ask any questions you might have up front. I see my family texting me, hey, y'all. Okay. 2 more minutes. Remember, I can't play background music. Let me put that up there again. Because, of course, there are copyright issues because it's a live stream. But in my Zoom parties, I do typically use some music. But, turn y'all music up, have some snacks, something to drink. I'm going to pretend I'm hearing some music. So if I randomly start dancing, just ignore me because I'll probably just be, acting like I'm hearing something. Okay, let's see. All right, 1 more minute. Okay. Somebody said, why you so cute though? Hey, Soror, thank you. You're so funny. Yeah, I'm seeing some of my sorority sisters on here, some families, some friends, some work buddies. Nice. I'm seeing a little bit of everybody. All right, 1 more minute before we get started. Tell us your name and where you're joining from. So right now I just got the screen to show you these supplies, just so you know what to gather while we wait. And then in just a minute, I'll get us started. All right, it's time. Okay, turn my camera on. All right, so first, let me go ahead and introduce myself. So, hey, everybody. If you don't know me, I am Liz Brent. I'm a Chicago artist, art teacher, business owner. I'm so excited to be here with y'all. You'll see the name BrentArt, which is on my shirt. That's me and my brother and my dad. We make art, a lot of custom art. Also teach virtual paint parties, create DIY paint kits. Hey, cousin, joining from Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Hey. So yeah, in the chat, I see y'all still typing. Tell me where your name and where you're joining from. So yeah, today I was like, let's just do this free paint party. Originally, it was a New Year's Eve thing, and then now it turned into a free virtual event. So I'm excited to do this with y'all. Again, I can't play background music, copyright issues, but play your own. Let's have a party. Couple rules. We gonna try our best. Okay, perfectionism is not the thing tonight. Even though I'm a perfectionist, I'm not gonna be tonight. I don't want y'all to worry about, looking exactly like my picture. Everybody's gonna have a different twist on it. And I hope y'all are painting with some other people, or if not, I hope y'all having fun painting by yourself. At the end, I would love to see your pictures. So of course, Facebook people, y'all can go ahead and post y'all pictures in the comments after you finish. Twitch and YouTube is a little different, but feel free to email me or hit me up on social media. I've got it tagged in the link. So I would love to see your work. Okay, so I'm gonna stop talking too much for now. Hey, Danielle from Florida. All right, I'm gonna get us started, but throughout, we can have some conversations. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to just ask it. Let me move this stuff around. If you need me to slow down, don't be afraid to say slow down. Let me slow down now because I know I talk fast, but I should have captions on because I spent a lot of time today turning on captions. If you can't hear or see me for some reason, let me know because there might be an issue on my end. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's switch this around and switch it one more time. There we go. All right, let's go. All right, so we got our surface, right? Here's our picture that we're working from. First thing we are going to do is paint our background. That's what we want to start with acrylic paints. And this background, you see we have like a lighter blue, dark blue mix at the top, and then dark blue at the bottom. So we're going to start with the top just for now. All right, so let's pick up our biggest brush. I'm using my 1-inch flat. We're going to dip it in a little bit of water first, because if it's dry, it's not going to give us the effect we want. So I got my water cup. Make sure you got a water cup. And then I dab it off because I don't want this dripping, okay? We don't want this dripping all over the picture. And first, we're going to start with just a solid blue. So mine is a primary blue. I didn't necessarily give colors specifically in the list because I'm like, look, people, this is not about like an amazing fine art class or nothing. I want you to use what you have and make it work. That's what I like to do, is use what I have and make it work. Sometimes I use different shades of blue and don't even really realize it. But we're going to use what we have and make it work. So right now we're taking this and we're rubbing our large 1-inch flat, whatever large brush you have, just filling it up with paint. Okay. Now, first thing we're going to do, we're going to turn this brush, what is this, horizontally. Let me get that angle right. This camera's throwing me off in different directions. Okay, we're going to map out a line. Okay, so that's going to represent the table that our little glass is going to be sitting on. All right, we got our line. Okay. Now, once we have a line, this is just going to tell us where things are going to be different. We're about to just paint this top half with that color blue. Okay, whatever blue you have coming out the bottle, that's what we're using right now. Preferably a darker blue, because we're going to add some light tones on top of this to make it lighter. And right now I'm just going up and down. You can also just go left to right. But direction for this stuff doesn't matter. Sometimes it does matter in a painting because you want it to look like it's going a certain direction. But we're going to have like some little textural effects anyway. So we don't even have to worry about that. All right, so what I'm doing, I'm taking the paint that I have and you're just spreading it around because you don't want to just keep globbing paint on, because what happens is it takes a really long time to actually dry. Okay. So you want to go across, and once you start see these like dry streaks, that's when you know, okay, I'm running out of paint. Let me pick up a little more, but wipe off the excess first, then go into that. Okay. If you just joining us, hey, we're getting started. Right now, we're just using blue to paint our background. If you need me to repeat anything, feel free to ask me to repeat. If you want to just pop on and say something, feel free to say something in the comments. I'm keeping an eye on the comments. All right, so we're painting our background. And again, we're using all the paint on our brush first, just because we do not want to make this take too long to dry. Okay, so we got the top. And I'm gonna wait a couple seconds. We don't have to wait for this to completely dry, but I like to go back and forth too, by the way, just doing this to smooth it out some more, and this also helps it to dry better. All right, I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna wait a couple seconds, probably like 20 seconds before we do the next step, because we're gonna do a little bit of mixing and blending, but it doesn't have to be completely dry for that, which it can't be for blending. All right, so let's see what else I want to talk about with y'all. So again, as you come in, tell us your name, where you're joining from. All right. We're waiting a couple of seconds for this to dry. Feel free to play some music in your background because, again, copyright issues. I can't play none, but hopefully you are partying and sipping and painting with me. All right, if you are drinking something right now, tell me what you're sipping on. I actually have a cup of water, not gonna lie. I haven't been drinking enough water today. I got a cup of water right now. So as we wait for this to dry, tell me what's in your cup. I'm letting this dry. All right, I think it's been about 20 seconds, right? Okay, next step, one of my favorite steps. We're gonna add some like powdery effect to this. So, large brush again. I'm gonna dab some of that off. So, ooh, Tanisha, I'm sipping on some Moscato and just watching and learning. Nice. Ooh, I love Moscato. Watching and learning, I love it. All right, so I'm dabbing this off just to dry this brush a little bit. You see it still got some blue in there. I'm not even washing it off. It's cool because it's gonna help with this effect. All right. Cabernet, hey. I see y'all drinking some different stuff. All right. So we're gonna dip our brush now in some white paint. Okay. Just a little bit, just the top of the brush, a little bit of white. Again, we take that handy dandy paper towel, dab that off. Okay. All right. Now we're about to just start dabbing on top of our blue paint. So it's gonna mix a little bit because it's not dry, and that's okay. That's what we want to happen. But I'm gonna get some more because it's not showing up enough for me. Let's get some more. Orange Gatorade, okay. I see you, Orange Gatorade. Oh, Grace is trying to come for Bethany, saying she's drinking too many right now. All right, so we got some more white paint. We're gonna just dab. So I start by dabbing just to get it on there, which is a nice, cool effect. We could use that too. That's actually something you could do for clouds. But what I'll do is now dry this off a little bit. And then you can also kind of make some circular motions and just like literally swirl around. Okay. And I'm going to take a lot more white because I want that to show up a little bit more. Make a lighter blue. And there's different ways to do this. You could actually mix a lighter blue first. But I'm going with this method. I think it's good for beginners. It's something fun to try. All right, and we're just dabbing it around because we want this effect where most of it is light and then we still got this dark area up there, okay? And by the way, in case y'all didn't know, I am currently streaming in 3 places: YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. I'm gonna try to do that a little more often because I guess this is technically my second time live streaming to all 3 because first it was like the practice one a couple days ago. But yeah, the system I'm using, StreamYard, makes it a lot easier than I was thinking it would be. All right, so again, we make a circular motions. All right. Get some more of that going there. Y'all, this is so strange for me to not have music. If you've ever been in one of my Zoom parties, you know I'm usually got the music going and I'm bouncing along, but it's cool. All right, and do a little more of this. So I'm picking up even more white, going on top. We're gonna have fun with this. So circular motions. Circular motions. Okay. And then while we're doing this, my other question for y'all, besides what you're drinking, is what's something fun, a fun activity you've done during quarantine? Because I know everybody has been looking for ways to keep busy, to, you know, stay positive, stay occupied. What are some fun things you tried? I've heard people talk about like virtual trivia or like escape rooms. I would love to try that out. And of course, paint parties is one. I've been doing a bunch of those. But tell me about something fun you've been doing or been able to do. Do I want to leave this? I think I want to leave this. Let's see. What y'all think? Y'all think I should leave that? Okay. I'm going to go one more time. I'm going to make this a little bit lighter. So we got this, right? We got this light shade of blue. And then Tanisha, it looks like you tried to type something, but it's showing up blank. So if you just commented, can you say it again? Because it's showing up blank. Hey, Mom and Dad. Thank y'all for joining in and watching. In case y'all didn't know or you missed the beginning, my dad is also an artist. And he is 1/3 of BrentArt. And is an amazing painter and drawer and builder and everything. And so is my brother. Okay, Tanisha said I conducted a chat session about relationships back in October and I have another one coming up next month for couples only. Okay, that's cool. I remember you telling me about that. So yeah, y'all, Tanisha's doing virtual events about relationships, and she's got one coming up for couples. Oh, she said she's giving me a thumbs up about streaming methods. Thank you. Yeah, for some reason, I guess it didn't come up. I guess maybe I can't show me emojis or something. Oh yeah, my dad said we did a family grab bag. We sure did. We did a Zoom grab bag. This is only the second year we even did a grab bag. So yeah, it was cool that we did it through Zoom and we used one of those websites that kind of matches everybody. Nice. Okay. All right, I'm leaving it. So we leaving it like this, y'all. Okay. Like this. We got mostly light. And then we got the little darker area up there. I see a little streak. I'm gonna ignore that. Nice. Grace said saying no to parties and get-togethers and not feeling guilty about it. Same. Oh my goodness. Like, because I was invited to some stuff too, and I hate that I couldn't make it and be with people, but I was like, I'm not risking it. I can't. I would feel much safer staying at home. Me and Grace are also both introverts too. I think, I found out though recently I'm an extroverted introvert. So some people be like, oh, you seem so social and this and that. It's like, yeah, but like really I'm an introvert. It's like my extrovertedness is the awkwardness of me being introverted. So I don't know how to explain it. Hopefully y'all can understand that or relate. Okay, so now let's let this dry. Let's let this dry. It's gonna be a couple minutes. While that is drying, we're gonna wash this brush out. Okay, let's wash this brush out. So I'm stirring around in my cup of water, dabbing it off. Okay, make sure it's clean. Now we're just gonna put a solid blue at the bottom, just like we have over here. We're gonna put a solid blue. All right, so I'm gonna take this tray, my solid blue. I didn't mix it with anything. I'm just pick up some of that. And we still using the same large 1-inch flat brush. Okay. And we are just going to, let me scoot this over. Paint this bottom part. Okay. And actually, we're gonna do 2 coats because first we're just gonna paint it solid blue. But then we're gonna paint like a darker blue on top of that because acrylic paint is all about layers. So you want to work in different layers because if you've ever painted before, you might notice, okay, you paint and then it looks thin and see-through and you can't figure out why. And that's because you really want to work from layers. Oh, that's my next question. All right. Tell me in the chat if this is your first time painting. If you're painting right now, if this is your first time painting, let me know. Or if it's not, tell me about your painting experience. So tell me if you painted before, if you've done painting sips, if you've done classes, if you're a professional. Tell me about your painting experience in the chat. I gotta put my phone on silent. Y'all keep buzzing, and I don't know if y'all can hear it buzzing. I bet it's my family. Yep. Thanks, Dad. He just told everybody, like, hey, y'all know Liz on YouTube right now. Okay. All right. Okay, so we got the first layer of blue, right? All right. So if you just came in, remember, say hey to the group. Tell us where you're joining from. Okay. Let that dry up a little bit. Let that dry up a little bit. Okay. So while that's drying, I'm trying to pause and pretend that I can hear y'all saying like, oh wait, let me catch up, because in a real paint party, that's how it would be if I could actually hear and see y'all. So I gotta make sure I pause and give y'all a minute. Okay, Tanisha said in the chat, I used to enjoy paint by numbers when I was younger, but now I'll leave it to the professionals. Those are fun. They're actually, I feel like I did it once as a kid, but they can be really helpful. I've been seeing a lot of paint by numbers kits at like Michael's and on Amazon. But now looking at paint by numbers is like intimidating to me. It's like tedious. And I guess because I'm the type of person who doesn't like, working in a like organized, neat way when it comes to painting. So it seems so hard to me, but really I know that it's helpful because it shows you where everything goes. But yeah, paint by numbers is so fun, and it's something that you still have to work to create. Just that I used to paint all the time before kids. Oh, maybe you could paint with the kids. I bet your cute little daughter likes to paint. I remember her. All right. Now, what we're going to do, we have this blue. We need to make a darker shade of blue. So we're going to add a tiny bit of black to this blue. Now, if you've ever taken an art class, I'm sure your art teacher told you we're not just adding black to things. We're going to use something else, But we're going to do that today. All right. So I'm still taking this giant brush I have, this flat brush. Still using it. I didn't rinse it. It's still blue on it. It's okay. Let's dip a little bit of black, and we're going to stir it into the blue. And that's going to make it dark. And I'm going to just do a little bit at a time so I can test it out and see what it looks like, because black changes a color really fast. So you want to try to give it a chance to like slowly change before you go too dark and then you can't get it back. Okay. So I'm doing this, stirring it dark blue. Grace in the chat said, yeah, when the numbers go up to 65, no thank you. LOL. Oh, yeah. Yeah, some of those paint by numbers, they have like a lot of numbers. That can be very intimidating. And just says, maybe I'll take her to your next class. Oh, that'd be cute. Yeah, my next live free class is on February 4th. And it's a cute like Valentine's picture. I think that'll be great for all ages. So that one you could definitely bring your kids. I mean, you may have even kids working on it today, but this is more advanced. But for everybody, for beginners too. But yeah, I would definitely say the next one, everybody should like bring some little kids to it. Okay, so we got the dark blue, right? Take that color on your brush. Let's paint over this again. So now this is going to make it darker. Okay. All right. Painting over that dark area. And I'm going to scoop this over just a little bit. Give myself a little more space. Okay. Pick up some more of that. Is anybody actually listening to some music right now? If so, tell me in the chat, what are you listening to? Because I do love to listen to music as I paint. But of course, can't right now. Once again, if you're just joining, copyright issues. But tell me, if you're listening to music right now, what are you listening to? Okay. I froze for a second. Okay, I'm back. All right. So if you're listening to music, what are you listening to? All right. So we're just going back and forth. I'm trying to get these streaks out because you notice that. You see how you just make brush strokes? So just smooth back and forth to cover those up. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave that as it is. Actually, no, I'm not. I always do that. Okay. One more thing I'm going to do. I'm going to dip it in a little bit of black. And while it's still wet, I'm going to blend this black into it. That's going to help make it darker too. And you see how like the top of this background is like dark, like almost black. I want to get that effect. Evelyn said I have a pleasant voice. Thank you. I've been told that before. And it's funny. I used to hate my voice so much when I first started doing stuff online and like teaching classes. I hated it. But now finally, like I've heard myself so much, I'm used to it, which I know most people feel like that about their own voice. But yeah, it's crazy when like kids in my classes and adults too be like, your voice is so nice. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm glad because I don't want to be on here sounding all obnoxious and loud and ruining y'all peace. Okay, so I'm taking that black paint, brushing it over. Okay, wiping off a little extra. How's everybody doing? How are y'all paintings looking? Give me like a thumbs up, thumbs down. Tell me it's looking amazing. Tell me in the chat, how is y'all painting looking? Okay, so right now I'm just using the color that's on my brush to go back and forth. I'm not picking up any water because with this still being wet, what'll happen if I take some water and put it on here, it'll just lift up the color that's there and it's going to like take some of it off and it's going to look extra light. Then like, you're not going to want that. And if it happened already, that's okay. We can work around it. If you are struggling at all, feel free to type in the chat and let me know and ask me a question. I will do my best to help you. I just dropped the paint. Luckily, it did not flip over, y'all. But yeah, so if you're like, oh, something's happening, stuff's not mixing, this and this and that, I can probably try to walk you through it and how to fix it. Okay, so now we let this dry. So first, I'm going to rinse this out. I'm going to leave it in the cup for now. You can also like set it flat, but I'll just leave it in here for now. Okay. All right, let's see. Let me double check the chat. How's everybody doing? All right. I see we got more people popping in. Hey. All right. So now we are letting that dry. Okay. There we go. All right. So hopefully y'all paintings are looking pretty good to you. It's okay because this is just the foundational steps. It's the very beginning. If you're just joining, I probably should have said this in the beginning. If you wanted to use a different color for anything, you are more than welcome to do that. You do not have to make it look exactly like mine. So yeah. Okay, this spot is bothering me, y'all. I'm not gonna touch it though, because I'm gonna have to wait for it to dry. But I make this streak, and I should have went over it, and I didn't. But I'm gonna leave it. Okay. All right. Oh, I got another good question. I remember the last time I asked this question at the paint party, I got so many responses. So my next question is, What is a show or movie you recommend that you watched recently? So what have y'all been watching? What should I watch next? Right now I'm watching a show called Younger on Hulu. And it is about a 40-year-old woman who is in publishing, and she was struggling to get a job. So she pretended to be 26, I think. Pretended to be 26 to get a job. So now she's like impersonating a 26-year-old. And it's really cool. I really like it. Ready? Say hi from Chicago. Hey! Oh, you must be Channon's daughter. Hey! J. Bill said Cobra Kai. That's good. Yep, I need to watch it thoroughly. I watched a little bit of Cobra Kai and I like that. Yeah, Cobra Kai is on Netflix. Nice. All right, what other shows and movies y'all got? I need to start making a list of things to watch next. Sisters. That sounds familiar. Is that based on a book, Evelyn? It sounds really familiar. And what is it about? So again, if y'all got a show or movie to recommend, pop it in the chat. So right now we're waiting for this to dry. Mine is pretty much dry. The bottom's like a little sticky, shiny. That's how you can also see. Let me lift this up. Oh, I got a water spot. Hold on. I knew that was going to happen. I'm going to fix it. It's crazy how like perfect that little water spot is. But yeah, it's still a little shiny if I do like this. Okay, that's how you know it's still wet. The top is dry though. All right, let me fix this spot that I just made. So we're waiting for it to dry. If yours is really wet, you can also use a blow dryer if you have one nearby, or even a fan. And that'll help you. I'm about to just touch up this spot I just created. Okay. Oh, I should have left it, y'all, because I just realized I'm going to put this there anyway. Oh, well, I'm going to leave that just like that. So Tyler Perry show has a lot of drama. Oh, yeah. What's that? I used to watch this Tyler Perry show called If Loving You Was Wrong. I think it still comes on. It just got too crazy for me. It was just so dramatic. It was good. It was good drama at first, but after a while, it was just so far-fetched. I had fell off of it, but I kind of want to go back and see what happened. Okay, well, let's see. Grace is watching His Dark Materials. It's based off the book series The Golden Compass, The Crown. Drinking White Russians, Listening to You, and I highly recommend the French film Divines on Netflix. Okay, I'm going to check that out. She says, hey. My friend's daughter is on here, y'all. Okay. Oh, I can actually show y'all comments too. I don't know if y'all want me to show y'all. I mean, you can see comments, but let me see. That's cool. Tyler Perry, a lot of drama. Dark Materials. This is cool, y'all. Like I could just have all this stuff popping up. All right. The Haves and the Have-Nots. I've been meaning to check that out. That looks like a good show. Bethany just recommended it. Is that Tyler Perry too? I think it is. If not, it seems similar. Okay, again, if you just popping in, hey. We are waiting for this first step to dry. And if you missed out on anything, don't worry, because I will have this replay posted after we end. Something else I wanted to say. Oh, as you come in, say hey to the group. Tell us where you're joining from, what part of the world you are in. I know so far I've seen people from Lansing, Chicago, Evanston, Florida, Gary, Indiana. All right. Ruthless is another by Tyler Perry. Okay, I might have to start giving Tyler Perry a chance with some other stuff. He does have some good dramas. I'm gonna have to check that stuff out. Small Axe, but that's on Prime Video. Okay, cool. I got Prime Video too. So Danielle recommends Small Axe. Nice. Okay, so mine is dry. I think y'all should be pretty much dry too. All right, so now this is where we start to really get into some details, right? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is kind of map out where our ornament's going to go and our glass. And The way I'm going to do this is with my tiny, small, round liner detail brush. So I'm going to use that, and we're going to use, what color? I'm going to use white. Okay, so white paint. All right, so let's scoop this over, just so I can make sure you all can see everything here. All right. Mine is going to be a white mixed with blue, which is fine because it's mixed right now, and I'm going to get some pure white later. Okay. So let's dip our brush in some water. And okay. Dip that brush in water so it's wet. Don't forget we got to dab it off so it's not dripping. And then we're going to, oh, this is a small, tiny brush. Crystal just asked. Thanks for asking. Yes, we're using the smallest brush we got, the liner brush for details. We're picking up some white paint. So I'm just rubbing it around the white, getting a good amount on there. And I'm also going to dip this in water again, but instead of dabbing it off, I'm going to like mix that water in there. Just because really watery paint is easier to use when you want to make some straight lines versus like thicker paint. Okay, so as I do that, now I'm going to wipe off any excess to try to make this brush like as straight as possible. I just got yellow in there, but please just ignore it and pretend it is not there. Okay. All right. So now we're going to start to draw the shape of our glass. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw like a V shape in the center. Okay, a wide V. So I'm going to start with, actually, no. It'll be easier to find where you want it to line up with. So first I'm going to draw a line at the bottom to represent the handle of the glass. I know it's another name for it. I don't even know, y'all. Correct me. Okay. So take your time. Mine is going to be a little crooked because I do not actually have a steady hand. But I'm going to show you how we touch this up later. All right. So I know that this line is coming like a little bit above that bottom line. Okay. And then we're going to draw like a little smile at the bottom. A little smile at the bottom. I'm going to pause, give y'all a chance to do that. So just drawing that line, the little smile. Okay. Line and a little smile. The stem of the glass. Thank you, Dad. It's called the stem of the glass. Okay. All right, so we got that. Okay. Our next step, let's create the V for the top of it. It's going to be like a really wide V. So I'm going to do the first side. I'm starting out about here, and my goal is to get it to the center. If it's easier for you to start in and go out, you can. But the way that helps me is to actually go out and then bring it and connect it. So take your time. You do not have to do it super fast. And connect it. Okay. And then same thing on the other side. We want that to kind of be symmetrical to that. Well, we actually want it to be symmetrical. So not actually kind of, but we're going to give it a shot. So now this time I'm going to start in the center and slowly go out to try to match that. And it may not match it perfectly, and that's okay, because we are not perfect. Okay. So we got that. I'll pause and give y'all a chance to get that in there. And then we'll go to the next step. All right, so we got that. Now for the top. We're going to make kind of like a curved line. not necessarily a straight line, because you want this to look, more of a 3D form. So instead of going straight across, I'm going to go across and like slightly dip it under. So feel free to watch me and then try it. So I'm taking my time, dipping it in like a very stretched smile kind of. That line got thicker and that's okay, because we can touch that up later. All right. Just the first line. And I noticed I made this a little more shallow than I planned to. But that's okay. I can show you how to touch it up. You could either leave it the way you have it, or if you see something where you want to fix it, since we're still in the foundational stages, we can always adjust that. So for mine, I feel like it's a little bit shallow. So I'm actually bring this down. So I'm going to start at that same corner, but I want this line to be lower. So I'm just create it lower. And I'm just bring it down. So I'm only doing this because I felt like mine was too high up. You can leave yours if you want to. You don't have to change it. But I'm also just demonstrating that you can always make some adjustments. That's why I like acrylic painting. It dries so fast, and you can make adjustments pretty easily. Okay. Now, if you have that part drawn, got your little smile, we're going to take our white paint, and now we're going to put a curve across the top. So this one's going to come up a little bit higher. Okay, but it's like still a thin, like almond shape, like how this one is. So I'm going to bring that over. Take your time. All right, so that's the top of that glass, okay? We got that. Let me let y'all go ahead and get that in there. And then while we do that, my next question is, what is something that has helped you get through this quarantine? So I know I already asked, like, what's a fun thing you tried or whatever, but also, like, what's something that's helped you get through? So I would definitely say, of course, God and my family, which includes my very helpful, loving fiance, my friends. So I've got some good people in my life that has helped me get through it. And then as far as like things to do, painting has helped a lot. Being able to connect through people with these online events, some good shows, lots of different things for me. Okay, so we have that glass. All right. So now let's finish up the base of it. So I'm going to dip this in here, pick up some more white paint with our small brush. So Channing says the schedule has helped a lot. Yes, oh my goodness, that's so important, because when it first started and I was trying to do things without a schedule, I was so just thrown off. I didn't know what day or time or anything it was. So yeah, I think a schedule is really helpful, Channing. Okay, so we have our little bottom part. Next, we are going to create like a dome shape at the bottom. So on this side of the smile we have, I'm going to curve this over and spread it out, and it's going to go the same width as the glass, because for this to be big enough to support it, it's got to be either the same or almost the same. So I'm going to bring this out, and notice you don't have to do this all in like one stroke. You can slowly create it. And then same thing over here. Okay. And then we're going to connect it at the bottom, and it's going to dip down like another smile. There we go. Danielle says painting and talking to family. Definitely. Oh, Stat, what type of stuff you like to paint, Danielle? And then Tanisha says, being able to work from home since March 2020, I have the flexibility that I need for my children activities. Nice. Y'all have been having a lot going on too. So that is amazing that you've been able to like do more with your children, more activities, despite the circumstances of everything that's going on. Okay, so we have our base. All right, let me make sure y'all get a chance to catch up with that. Next, I'm gonna thicken out the stem of the glass. So I'm gonna pick up some more white paint. So you see how right now we have this like really thin line? I'm gonna start at the top and like slowly get wider. So it's gonna get about as wide as this little dip we created. It's gonna start thin, okay? So I'm gonna start at the top and then I'm gonna slowly get a little bit wider. And then same thing down here. Down and get wider. Okay. I'll give y'all a chance to do that. See more people popping in. Hey, hey. As you come in, let us know your name and where you're joining from. I hope you got some music going in the background. Danielle's been following a few artists on IG thanks to her cousin. Nice. Yeah, Instagram has so many resources like artists and writers and just all kinds of creative people. You can pick up a lot from Instagram. That's actually how I found my mentor, who's my business coach now, on Instagram. So you said me too. Yes. All right, so now that we have this step, let's switch to our medium brush. So this is our medium 1/2 inch flat brush or whatever you have that's like a medium. And I'm gonna show you the size comparison to the big one. So this is the big one and this is the little medium. So we're gonna use this to pick up some white paint to fill in the base and the stem of our glass. Thanks, Tanisha. Plants. Oh, Bethany says plants. I've been seeing so many people doing stuff with plants. I need to get better at plants because my mom loves them and she's amazing with them, but mine have always died. I had orchids for a little bit and couldn't keep up with them. And matter of fact, I always say my plants die, but I had one die when I was little and then I just left it alone. And I keep saying they always do, and that's not even true. I do have a succulent that's still alive right now. I have not been watering it as much as I need to, but luckily, because it's a succulent, it has not died. So that's something I can get with. Okay, so again, we're using our medium brush. And we're just filling this in with white paint. We're only going to do like one coat of this for now. And then we'll come back to it. But now we're starting to build up these details. And you'll notice that it's still going to mix a little bit with the blue underneath it because the paint is wet. And it's picking up some blue, and that's okay. Because that actually will add to our look of glass, make it a little see-through. What kind of plants do you have, Bethany? Okay, so I'm going to leave that like that. All right. Okay, so I'm going to rinse this brush out. And then I'm going to give y'all a minute to get that step. Crystal says she has 100,000 plants. LOL. And Grace says, what doesn't she have? Wow, Bethany says she does have almost 100 plants. Man. Where do you keep them? Do you have like a designated like greenhouse, or is it a room, or they're just all over your place? I mean, shoot, my mom, she has a lot too. Mom, if you are still on here, tell us about how many plants do you have? I know she's got a lot. Okay, letting that dry. Okay, what I want us to do next? I think we're about to work on this candy cane next, actually. Yeah. Okay. Candy cane time. All right. Oh, I love details, y'all. Like I'm getting excited as we get closer and closer to the main attraction. Okay. So now for the candy cane, we are still going to use white paint. Doing that is really going to help us be able to like map things out. And if we like, you know, mess up somewhere or need to touch up, it'll be easy to do with white. Bethany has plant shelves, and then there's also everywhere. I bet. I bet it's pretty though. I do like the look of having plants like all around. Oh yeah, this plant behind me. Let me maximize my screen. This plant behind me is fake. The one that's, where is it? It's poking out right here. It's fake, but it's cute. I like the look of them, but okay. Let me figure out how to get the screen back now. Okay. All right. So we got our white paint, and then we're about to draw this candy cane. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually lift this up because I can't zoom right now on my camera, but I'm gonna hold this so y'all can see it better to get this candy cane drawn. Okay, let me get something to prop this on because I'm gonna be all shaky and stuff because I don't have steady hand. Okay. Oh, my dad says his wife really helped him through the quarantine. Good company. That's so sweet, mom and dad. Y'all cute. Oh, y'all, they've been together forever. Like they met when they were like 11 and have been together ever since and got married in like 1974. It's crazy. I love they love. Y'all so cute. Okay. So now candy cane time. All right, so we're taking this thin brush, white paint, and the key is to have it where it looks like it's hanging outside the glass, right? So I'm actually start outside and I'm gonna bring it down. Okay. And you know what? No, hold on. Because I see this other line threw me off for a second. Oh, Tanisha said yes, forever. I love my uncle and auntie. Ah, Tanisha. Okay, I'm about to quickly make this line disappear so it doesn't throw anybody else off because it definitely just threw me off. And if people are joining late, I don't want them to be like, okay, what is this other line for? So let me get some blue. I got like giant bottles of paint, y'all. Okay. So just a little quick adjustment. I'm about to make this disappear a little bit so it doesn't distract too much. Okay, so just ignore this stuff. I've painted so much and for so long that I've messed up a lot. I still mess up, and I've learned quick corrections to make it look like it never really happened. My dad says they have 9 plants. I don't think it's 9, Dad. I think it's more than 9 plants. Mom has a lot. Okay. All right. So now back to the candy cane. We have our white brush. So remember that step I just did? I was just ignoring it. That was me touching something up that I messed up on. I'm getting some white paint with my tiny, tiny round detail brush. And I'm creating my candy cane. So I'm going to start outside the glass. I'm making the bottom line of it. And I'm just kind of sketching it out. So it's going to come around. And then it's going to go inside the glass on a slant. And it's going to go a little bit low. Let me get a little more paint so you can see it better. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this around and up. So right now we're just sketching out our candy cane. And we're just following it, making it parallel to the other line. Except parallel lines really don't curve, but you know. Just keeping it in the same shape. And then I'll bring it around and curve it. Okay, so that's our candy cane for now. I'm gonna give y'all a minute to get that. Don't forget to like and subscribe or follow me, y'all. wherever you're watching from. I see I've got people here from YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Nice. So yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. That sounds like a YouTuber saying that. I guess I kind of am now. All right, so we have our candy cane. And before we do these next steps, yeah, we have this mapped out. We're about to do the little details on them. And then we're going to add in our little ornament too. Okay, so next, I'm going to use the white paint again. I'm going to draw this the little holly plant with the berries and stuff. I'm going to add that next. Okay, so first we have just 3 circles. So I'm going to do 1. And then I'm going to do, this one's going to be kind of like coming out of that circle or so it looks behind. So connect that, and that's 2. And then 1 on top. Let's go connect. We got 3. Okay, 3 little circles. And then we're going to change the shape or add the shape of the plant. So then we have up here, I'm going to actually draw a line that just comes straight out. So I know one plant is going to be there. And then 1 line here. So I know that other one's going to be there. So starting next to, we're going to pretend like this is the center of that plant. And we're going to make like little curved lines. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and then touch. Okay, so it looks like a little saw right now, like a little zigzag type of thing. And then same thing on the other side. I'm going to try to match that. 1, 2, 3, and bring it in. All right. I'll give y'all a minute to get that before we add the next one. What's something you want to learn to paint next? I'm always looking for ideas of what my future videos or painting sessions might be. What's something you've always wanted to learn to paint, or something you just think would be cool for me to do a painting of to show everybody? All right, so we have this plan. So now over here, same thing. This is our middle line, right? We're going to do from the left 1, 2. It's going to be a little shorter. I'm going to bring that down for 3. And then over here, I'm going to do 1, 2, bring that down for 3. All right, so we got our sketch. Oh, you're welcome, Evelyn. Evelyn's got to go. I hope you feel better. And if you paint it later, make sure you send me a picture. All right, so we got that now. Next, we're going to add some stripes to this candy cane. Still using white paint. We're getting all of that in there first. All right, so we're going to take our tiny brush, and we're just creating some stripes. So first, I'm just map off a section, and then use your small brush to fill it in. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to space out, map it out, fill it in. And then same thing down here. Let's see. Space out, fill it in. And don't worry about this part of the glass right here. I'm going to show you later. We're going to fix that to make it really look like this candy cane is inside the glass. And then I'm going to do one more section of white. Fill it in. So when I paint, I like to do kind of one color at a time until I get into like details. Actually, even with the details, I do that. Okay, so fill that in. All right, so we've got the candy cane mapped out. All right, so that's the candy cane. What else do I want us to get into? Let's do this ornament. So I'm going to take the small brush still, pick up some white paint. And then the ornament is just like a circle that's pretty much tilted. But we can start by just making it's going to be close to this glass. Circle, circle. It's okay if it gets cut off a little bit. I'm going to make it as round as I can before it gets cut off. Okay, I'm going to let that go off the edge of the paper for the canvas. Then at the top, I'm going to curve it, bring it up, and close that off. All right. Basic shape of our ornament. We got that mapped out now. Okay. So now it's time to start adding some red into our picture. So I'm going to give y'all a second. Make sure you got that sketched out. And then next, also, you could type in the chat if there's something new you learned during quarantine. I think learning how to use Zoom and what is this, StreamYard and all this stuff, this is new for me during quarantine. All right, time for some red. Let's already make this start popping. Okay, so now we're using, let's see. We're going to start with the small brush. So I rinsed it out. Make sure it's clean. We don't want any white in there right now because what's going to happen is it's going to turn pink. We don't want pink right now. All right, so let's pick up some red. So I'm just filling up my brush with that. And the first thing I'm going to put the red on is the candy cane. I like to go left to right in the picture. So then, actually, yeah, so this will be our first coats of red. So I'll fill in the berries first. And red is a color that is really see-through. And it often takes like a lot of coats, but we're going to work on that by just first putting this coat down and then adding like a highlight or a shadow later. But first we're just coloring in what we made with the red. So we got our berries. And then I'm going to add the ribbon. Do I want to add that now or later? I think I'm going to add that now just to have it just there. So then for the ribbon, we're first going to just start here and make a loop. So a curve to the left, it's going to come in. Curve to the right, it's going to come in. And then I'm going to bring this line out and curve it. And I'm keeping it above the blue because what's going to happen is it'll disappear because it's so dark down here. So I'm keeping it up in the lighter blue area. How's everybody doing? How's your masterpiece looking right now? I'm excited to see these. So just getting the first couple coats of red in there. And then after that, I'm going to clean this brush out. Okay, so we got that. Now I'm going to switch to green for a second. I want to get these green colors in there. So I don't have green on my palette. I'm actually going to mix green with some blue and yellow. I'll put a little bit more blue out. Okay, so first, I'm going to use my medium brush just to mix that color. So medium flat. I want to take that blue and add it to the yellow. We always want to add the darker color to the lighter because we can control it much better than if we were to add the yellow to the blue. It's going to take a really long time to change. So we're mixing that to get like a nice medium green. Now I'm going to fill in between my white spaces on my candy cane. I'm going to do that with the green. So either you can use this medium brush or you could switch to the small one if that's easier for you. Okay, so I'm just filling in between with green. And these are just the beginning coats of paint where we get our details in there. All right. Y'all done get quiet in the chat. I think that means y'all are focusing. All right, so we got that in there. And then also use that green for my ornament. You can make your ornament whatever color you want. Since this is so dark down here, I'm going to actually lighten up this green a little bit by adding some white to a section of it. I'm going to take a little white. That way I can lighten this up and it'll show better. I'm going to go over those white lines too, because that was just there to kind of help guide us on where to go. Gonna fill that in. I'm so hungry. I need to go eat. What y'all eating right now? Is anybody eating while you painting right now? Tell me, what are you eating? I had some tacos earlier. They were so good. All right, filling in our ornament. I'm going up to this point. I'm not going to do the top of it because that's going to be a different color. And then I'm going to do this one more time. Okay. So I'm going to go back to that first coat. Oh, Danielle has some curry chicken and rice. Okay. That sounds so good. I haven't had chicken curry in so long. All right, got that in there. Let's see. Now, I'm going to go over this white one more time. So I'm going to clean this brush out, the flat 1/2 inch. I'm going to squeeze out some fresh white paint because mine got a little muddy. And they're eating margarita pizza. Ooh, I love margarita pizza. Not to have a lot of people in your house, especially unmasked. Yeah, that's something. Yeah. So the question was, what's something new you learned during the quarantine? That's definitely something new to learn. Not to have a lot of people in the house without masks. Okay, so now I'm going over this white just to make it brighter. Filling that in. Filling that in. And filling that in. Okay, got that. Okay, starting to come to life a little bit more. How y'all feeling about it? Y'all picture come to life a little bit. Still, we in the basic stages. But yeah, it's coming together. So now I have this medium 1/2 inch flat. And I just went over the candy cane. Now I'm also going to go over the stem again, just to brighten it up. Working around my little ribbon. And for the bottom, I'm not going to completely cover it because, again, it's supposed to be a see-through glass. So then I'm just going to let me slow down. I just realized I'm like painting like nobody watching. Okay. I'm going to slowly go over here and make curved lines. And that's going to help us get that like shaped look and make it look like glass and all of that stuff. And if you do it and you feel like your white is covering it too much, just like dip it in some water a little bit and dab it off, and that'll help to water down the color. And then you can just go over it. So I'm going to just bring those down a little more. All right, we got the base of the glass. All right. So now Once you get that, I'm gonna go back to this red a little bit because we got some red details to add in our candy cane. So I'm gonna go to my tiny brush for this step. So like I said, with this painting, it's a lot of switching back and forth because you kind of just let things dry before we go to the next one. But it's a great way to like work on a painting versus like sitting and waiting for everything to dry. You just do something different until you can go back to another step. All right, so we got that small brush and it's red paint. And I'm just gonna add a streak of white. Now I know we just did that white, so it might lighten it up a little bit, but that's okay. Just add a line of red. I think I just said white by mistake, but a strip of red. And I'm kind of just pressing down using the width of the brush. And I'm following the curve of the candy cane. And then same thing here. Okay, following the curve of the candy cane. So we got that in there. And now let's pick up some of that green from before. I'm going to do the little holly leaves next to it. So I've ran out of green. I'm going to get some more green. I'm using my small brush just because that area is so small. And I'll mix up some green and color these leaves in behind it. Okay, cover that in, fill that in. Anybody else eating or drinking something right now? I wonder what y'all eating and drinking. I was tempted to eat, but I was like, no, I'm not going to be rude to y'all on my live stream where y'all can see and hear me. I'm not going to sit and eat. Okay, so we got the green. Nice, okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create our red for the actual wine in the glass. So while this is drying, it's perfect time to add that because I wanted to get the details first. So it looks like the wine is going on top of that. So first we're going to use our medium 1/2 inch flat. And what we're going to do is mix up like a darker red so that way it looks like nice and like a nice deep tone inside the glass. All right, so I have some red on my plate. And hey, everybody, I see more people popping in. As you come in, tell us your name and where you're joining from. Okay, so we have red. Tiny, tiny bit of black. Okay, remember we talked about that's how we darken things. And this is basically going to create like a maroon color. A little bit more because I noticed it didn't change much. And this is really starting to get to what I'm looking for. You could also create purple if you wanted to with red and blue. By adding some blue into this color. Okay. And a little bit more black. All right, so nice deep red. Okay, so again, I have my medium brush, nice deep red. And first we're gonna start off by drawing a line. So I'm gonna draw on an angle. So I'm using my 1/2 inch flat and I'm like using the pointed side of it. You can also use like thinner brush too. But basically I'm gonna start from one side and I'm gonna go on an angle across that candy cane. Because remember we want it to look like this candy cane is inside the glass. So we got a curve, right? Now I'm about to paint over it. So I'm going to gently sweep over the bottom of the candy cane. I don't want it to cover completely, but enough. And then now I can really just paint in the area around it. I'm even painting a little bit over that white line. Dale said drinking ginger malta. Okay. Danielle, are you related to Ashana? I know Ashana with that last name. I think she was in one of my other paint parties. Okay, so we got that in there, right? Okay, so now we let that dry. And we're going to start to add a couple of details while we still got this dark red, right? Okay, so we have the dark red in the glass. We have dark red on our palette. We're going to pick up that tiny brush, get some of that color, and I'm going to wait a little bit, make sure y'all got that part filled in. Okay, so now with this color, I'm going to go right on top of the berries I created and make them darker using that same deep red we mixed for the wine. Oh, she's okay, nice. You said Shauna's your cousin. Yes, she's so cool. I love her. Yep, she came to like one of my first Facebook Live paint parties, and then yeah, we always talk on Instagram, and then she also like supports me on Patreon. She's so cool. All right, so then we filling that in. All right, so got that deep red in there, and then while we have this color, we can also go over those lines one more time. Not the one in the water, we can ignore that. Just add a little bit of deeper red right there. Okay, and while we still have this color, dark red with a small brush, I'm also going to trace over my bow with that deep red. This is allowing us to add some details also while we wait for that wine to dry in the glass. All right, back to the question of a show or movie you recommend, because I know we had some other people come in too, but if y'all think of any other recommendations, be sure to drop them below. Since we got that red, Now we're going to start to add to the background. Okay, so I'm going to lift this up a little bit. We got that red. Next, we're going to add some of those fireworks in the sky. And we're just going to have some curved lines. So we're going to pretend that there's like a little dot in the middle. We can even make a dot, actually. I'm going to do a dot to make it easier to follow. And we're going to draw out little curved lines for the fireworks. So I got one here, here, there, and they're curving towards the center. Just bring them out. Okay, that's just the first step up because we will add other colors to that too. Okay, and then the other ones, I'm going to make that with white and yellow, so I'm going to leave that for now. Follow the reality show, put a ring on. It was pretty good. Okay, Tanisha, what? I haven't heard of that one. So what's it about? I'm assuming somebody getting married, but can you tell us more about the show, Put a Ring on It? Okay, so we got that filled in. Let's see. Got the red. Nice. Okay. Next thing I want us to do is we're going to mix up a lighter shade of red. Okay. So now I'm going to use that same brush. So, I mean, a different brush, actually, medium flat. And we're going to take a little bit of white and add it to the yellow. Now, of course, it's going to make it kind of pink, and that is okay. But also what white does is make the red less see-through, because white is very much an opaque color or tone, or, and it's going to help this red to not be see-through. So I'm using my flat brush now. This is going to help us give a little bit of dimension to our wine. So we're going to use that to now draw another curve. So this curve is going to come underneath the candy cane and bring it up to the corner. All right, bring it up to there. And then we're going to use this color. I'm going to dab some of that off because I don't want it to be super thick. Coyote on Prime Video. I've been hearing about that. What is Coyote about? Okay, so now we're going to fill that in. Pick up some more of that lighter shade of red we made. And that's going at the top. Now, y'all see how that's starting to look like a highlight? So it's really starting to come alive. All right. So we got that in there. All right. And now with this same light red, I'm going to take that. And I'm going to pick up my small detail brush for the next step. And I'm going to use that light red on top of these little berries again, but just on one side of it. Because I still want that darkness to show too. But on this side of the berry, I'm going to lighten it. Now you see how that's like just automatically showing us some highlights? Making it like really pop from a distance. That's what we want. Okay, got that. Got that. A couple little quick strokes. All right. And then, of course, we got to touch up our ribbon. Add a little bit of the light red on top of that. That's going to help that have a highlight and pop out. Bring that around. How's everybody doing? Is anybody surprising themselves? Is it looking better than you expected? Hopefully not worse than you expected. Okay, so Coyotes is about like real life coyotes. Okay, yeah, with the border. Okay, I've been hearing about that show. Danielle said very good. Nice. So is your painting looking very good? I can't wait to see it, Danielle. Okay. Okay. All right. So we got the red. Next, let's see what we want to do. Oh, while we got that color, we can start adding some details around the rim with this red. So I'm just going to make little dots. This is with that tiny, small detail brush. And I'm just doing tiny, tiny dots. I'm going to hold it up a little closer. That bottom white line. And I'm going to go a little faster, but really all I'm doing is pressing down, going around. And I'm just following that line we created before. And we're making sure we do this so it looks like it's coming in front of the candy cane. Therefore, the candy cane looks like it's inside the glass. And then I'm going to do the same thing behind it. But I'm not going to go on top of the candy cane and skip it. So it looks like this is really behind it. And we're just following that back line. Okay. All right, y'all see how it's starting to come? It's starting to come together. Okay. Oh, Tanisha says that the show put a ring on it. There's 3 couples that were dating from a range of 2 to 9 years, but none were married. The therapist had the couples go out with other people so that they could see what was truly holding them back from moving forward with marriage. Oh, you know what? I think I watched that. I wonder. Or maybe it's a show similar. It was like couples that came and like met other people and just, but then at the end they decided that they want to stay together and get married, or did they want to move on with a new person. That might be a different show I'm thinking of. Those shows are cool though, those kinds of shows. Okay, so we got the red. Let's see, where else do I want us to put it? Well, we got this lighter red. Let's add some lighter red to the fireworks in the sky. Oh, and I just realized what the show my dad is talking about. I kept saying coyotes. I know he is correcting me in the background, like, nope, it's coyotes. That is talking about the Spanish word. Okay. Sounds like the one I watched. That might be it. That's a good show, Tanisha. If that's the one I'm thinking of, that's a really good show. I need to see, because I watched it like months ago, and I'm really hoping there's another season. I need to look and see. Okay, so we got the red. Nice. Okay. Now let's get into, which color do I want us to get into next? Let's go over this green some more. All right, so now we're going to this medium brush. Let me clean mine out because I got red in it. Hey, everybody, if you're just popping in, we're working on the painting. We're also chit-chatting. So if you're just popping in, tell us what's a show or movie you recommend for us to watch. So for mine, I mentioned the show Younger. What else have I've been watching a couple different things back to back. What's another show? Okay, before I remember, let's get to the green. Okay, so yellow and blue is making green. I keep having to make it because I keep not making enough. Yellow and blue makes green. I'm gonna start with just like a basic shade, a primary shade of green. Tanisha said him and his Spanish and French, just like Uncle Jack. Yep. Yeah, my dad is fluent in Spanish for y'all that don't know. Oh, my daddy said he's not correcting me. He's enjoying the party. Thanks, Dad. Yeah, my dad is fluent in Spanish. I know a little bit. I need to get better at conversational. Like I can read it and, you know, I can write it a little bit. But conversation-wise, it takes me a minute to like think of what to say, you know. But if I hear somebody talking, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I understand. But then I was fine in English, so I need to get better at that. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me put my lip gloss real quick. Danielle said Trip to Jamaica was a nice one on Netflix. Okay, what's that? Trip to Jamaica. I haven't heard of that one. Okay, green. Yeah, Tanisha's asking what's that about too. Look at y'all having conversations in the chat. I love it. Okay. I'm very much all over the place if y'all haven't noticed. I know my fiance is probably in the background laughing, but I jump around a lot. Let me focus. Okay. But yeah, tell us in the chat, Danielle, what's that about? All right, so first we got our basic shade of green. I'm going to go over this ornament again because I really wanted to show up. So now it's really popping out. And I knew that was going to be a thing with that dark blue in the background. Okay, got that basic green. Nice. Okay. Now what I want us to do is to get some highlights and shadows going with the other stuff, right? So let's see. I'm going to still take this basic shade of green. And I'm still using a 1/2 inch flat. You can also use a small, tiny detail brush if it's better. But I'm also going to go over this, the holly leaves one more time, just so they're not so see-through. Try to cover up that white edge. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to go over the green one more time and try to cover up that edge, just so it's not so see-through. Oh, I got a show for y'all. Unreal. It's called Unreal. So if y'all like The Bachelor, Bachelorette, and all of that, I don't really like them shows, really. The only season I watched was Rachel and Tayshia, because they were the first Black bachelorettes, and those seasons were a lot more interesting to me. But, like, because it's all just so unbelievable. But this show, Unreal, is good because it's like, it's not reality, but they kind of try to make it look like reality. But it's supposedly what goes on behind the scenes of shows like The Bachelor and Bachelorette, but like a more far-fetched version of it. And the creator actually was a writer, was a producer on the set of The Bachelor and Bachelorette for years. And it's so interesting, like, because some stuff you look at it like, oh, I bet this really does happen in real life. And then some of it's like, okay, hopefully that doesn't happen. But it's good. Okay, so we got the green. Nice. Okay. Now let's get some highlights, right? So actually, no, let's do highlights. Sorry. We have our basic shade of green. Let's pick up a tiny bit of white. And I'm going to add it to like a section of this green. That's all I need is a little spot to get some highlights in there. So again, today is our free little virtual paint party without music, of course, because of copyright issues. But this is a like 2-hour session. So we have like maybe 30 minutes left. But if you're interested in like more like long sessions or something you can rewind and stuff, this will be posted for a replay. But also I have classes on my website at BrentArt.com. The link should also be posted underneath this video info. But that way you can see some of my classes that are pre-recorded. Okay, got this lighter shade of green, right? So now we're going to add that on top of the holly. So wait, it's not showing up because I didn't make it light enough. I'm going to put a little more white into it. And I'm just going one side of the holly and add a streak of white. Let me see. I noticed I froze a little bit. I'm hoping y'all got that. So let's do it again here. And I'm just tracing a little bit of it. Okay, give that some dimension from a distance. I'm going to go over this one again so it's brighter. Okay. And then same thing on the ornament. So now my ornament should be dry enough to go over that. So I'm going to start on this side of it. And I'm going to go across. Towards the bottom, I'm going to leave it darker. You don't have that little shadow. I'm going to have it go lightest against the edge. I'll leave it like that. Round it out so it looks more rounded. Okay. All right, got that. Let's see, green there, green there. Now let's add some darker details. So I'm gonna set this brush to the side, my half-inch flat. Oh, Danielle said that Trips to Jamaica show is couple from Nigeria visit her sister in Atlanta and they all travel to Jamaica. But the sister's husband works with the mafia. It was nice though, action and comedy mix. Okay. That sounds interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out. All right, so now shadows. So we've got our green. I'm using that tiny round detail brush. I got the green, right? Picking up a tiny, tiny bit of black. Filling it in. Making it a little bit darker. Yeah, there we go. So it's like a nice deep greenish blue, which is cool. All right, couple spots we're going to add this to. So first, I'm going to start with the candy cane. So up against the edge of it next to the white, I'm going to add that. And that's just going to help bring out some like dimension to it. More color. And then same thing here. So along the edge, it's going to help us make our candy cane look a little bit more realistic. So right up against the edge, I'm just tracing with the dark green, the edge of my green areas. Okay. Same thing with the holly. I'm going to go along one edge of it, not both, because what happens is if you trace it completely, it'll make it look flat. And we don't want this to look flat. All right, so then we're going over that one edge of it. Okay. Got that. Now, this should be dry enough to add like darkness to that edge. So I'm going to pick up some more dark green. And I'm going to go along the bottom of it. But I'm going to actually bring it up into it like this. Because what's going to happen, this underneath is so dark anyway, it's just going to match. So I'm just drag little lines up. And drag it up into the ornament. Just give it a little more tone. Okay, let me see if we got what we need with the green. And then before we move on for the green, we got to add some highlights. So now I'm going to leave this over here so y'all can still see it. So I'm going to pick up some of my regular green, right? Tiny bit of white. Okay. And then I'm going to add some highlights. So let's see, starting with the candy cane. Let's see. I'm going to just do a little curve. I'm going to hold it up so you can see it a little better. Pick up a little bit more light green. Little curved lines like that. Let's go make that look nice and shiny. Same thing here. I'm going to just put a couple little streaks. And then as it gets behind the glass, I'm not going to brighten that up because I want it to look like it's really inside. So I don't want that to be too bright. But now I'm going to add some highlights to the holly. So on one side of it, let's do some light green. And I'm not focusing too much on blending tonight because I want this to be something that even beginner painters can do. Because blending takes some time to practice. But overlapping colors with highlights and shadows is a nice way to kind of like fake the blending. So I just realized I probably should tell more about me for those who don't know me. So to begin, I introduced myself, artist, art teacher. So I've been painting for, I guess, since high school actually. So since 2006. Yeah, that's when I started taking my art classes in high school. And then I've been a professional since about 2012. That's the first time I started getting paid to paint during college. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I got this before I throw things off. Okay, we got that light green. I'm gonna come back to my story in a second. Now let's pick up that 1/2 inch flat brush again. And since that green on our ornament should be dry enough, I'm gonna add a little bit of that highlighted green there. Okay, so we got green, tiny bit of white. And then y'all quiet again. That's how I know y'all focusing. Y'all like, yeah, let me get this. So now I'm just painting this top part a little bit lighter. And I'm just gonna streak it in between what I had before. Okay. All right, got that. Nice. All right, we're gonna leave that alone. Now let's see. We did those highlights. Let's work on some more. Let's do some yellow. We haven't done yellow yet. We got a couple things to do in yellow before we get to finishing off the glass. And we almost there, y'all. Okay. So first I'm gonna show you this next step and then I'll talk through that part. All right, so we need some white details. So on the rim of the glass, like the sugar on the glass, we want to add some more white dots. So tiny brush, make sure it's clean. We are going to fill our brush up with the white paint and use this to make a lot of dots along the rim, just like we did with the red. So this is more towards the top, but also in between the red. Okay, so as I do this, I'm gonna finish my story. So yeah, I've been painting professionally since about 2012, because I guess technically 2009. So okay, 2009, I was a high school senior. I was in AP Art and National Art Honor Society, and I was painting all the time. And so I also worked at Kmart at the time, trying to make some money. And I used to sell my paintings at work to my managers. And I think it started because I would always bring my pictures and work on them in the lunchroom. I mean, the break room. Because I always had a project to do for school. And anytime on my break, even though it was sometimes 15-minute breaks, but whenever I got like a little 30 minutes, or if I was early to work, because I would just like walk to work from school, I would just sit there and work on one of my painting projects I needed to finish. So that way, when I got home from work, I didn't have to do it. And my manager started to see me painting. They're like, oh, okay, this stuff looks pretty good. And they're like, how much for it? I'm like, what? And then they would talk about they want to buy it. I'm like, okay, well, this is for a project. I got to turn it in. They're like, okay, but once you get it back, how about you sell it to me? I'm like, okay. And they're like, how much? And I'm just like, I had no clue what to charge. So I was like, okay, $20. So I sold like 5 paintings or 4 paintings for like $20. So I was like, ooh, I just got some money. I was so excited. I was like 16. No, I wasn't. How old was I? I was about 17. And now I'm like, man, I could have made some more money. But yeah, it was a really good time to be in high school and selling some paintings. Okay, so we got these. All right. Now, got our little highlights up there. Let's add some more white details to this picture. And it's funny, Kmart is actually where I met my fiance. We met our summer after graduating college. And we both had been working at Kmart. Okay. Tiny brush, small detail brush. We got a couple of white details to add. This is also going to help the paint to pop. So first, there's like a curve on the candy cane, and that helps it to look shiny. And it starts just in the middle, and it's gonna like follow the shape of our candy cane. So I'm gonna start from the holly and just slowly trace. Bring that down. Y'all see how it looks shiny? Nice. My dad said, great story. Thank you, Dad. Okay. And then we got that in there. Let's add another white line on that holly. Y'all see it starting to pop out. First it was kind of looking kind of, you know, basic up close. But then you see them details from a distance. That's what it's about. So I always say that painting is about illusions. There are some painters, though, who no matter where you look at it, up close or far away, it just looks super detailed, amazing, all of that. I kind of focus mainly on illusions from a distance. Because the closer I look at it, the more I see that I want to fix. But really, I think about like, okay, if I hang this up on the wall, what it look like? And if it looks good enough, that is good enough for me. All right. Some white there. Let's add some white to these berries. So curve here, and there. Oh, I love how it looks like it's just coming to life. All right. I see more people popping up. Hey, y'all. Tell us your name, where you're from as you come in. For those watching the replay, hey, feel free to pop in to him and leave a comment. Okay, so we got the white highlights on there. Now let's see. Oh, ribbon. Can't forget our ribbon. So I'm going to put a white line on this side. Bring that around. So yeah, like I was saying before, I've been using, well, pretty much the whole quarantine, I've been painting, hosting paint parties, making paint kits, just all painting, and it's been so therapeutic. Okay, so we got that highlighted in white. Then the edge of our glass, we are going to add some white highlights to that. So I'm going to retrace this line, because now that I have my foundation line, I can like paint it a little bit slower and make sure it's straight. So let's see, let's trace the outside of this with white. Taking our time. Don't forget, y'all, when y'all finish, especially my Facebook people, you can drop a comment under this video with the picture of your painting. I would love to see it. If you're joining from YouTube or Twitch, you can email me, LizBrentArt@gmail.com. I think I have my email on here. You could also send me a message on Instagram or Facebook. Or what am I talking about? Yeah, Instagram, Facebook. I guess I don't have my email. I think it's in the description underneath this video. It should be. If y'all had a good time and you like, ooh, can I donate some money or leave you a tip? You are more than welcome to. buymeacoffee.com/LizBrentArt. You do not have to, but it's welcome. All right, so we still tracing this white line at the edge of our glass, making that pop out. And again, all the links I mentioned are in the description underneath this video. So that way you don't have to like type to search stuff. Okay. So now we got that on the outside, right? We also want some lines kind of inside the glass, look like some shiny reflections and stuff. So I'm going to add a little curve here. It looks a lot like the Nike check sign, right? Space that out a little bit. So a little bit longer line. Okay. Pick up some more white on the edge of this wine, but like inside that, we're going to do a little curve that follows. And this kind of just like shows us where things are flowing to. And then let's see. I don't want to do too much, but I'm going to go against this edge too. Show us where that wine is. Okay. Got that. What other highlights do I want us to do? Oh, let's work on some more fireworks in the sky. So we're going to do a curve. And you can do as many or as few as these if you as you want to. This is that small, tiny brush white paint. And then some out here too. Bringing that out. I'm seeing some likes on there. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. All right, hold on. All right, did y'all enjoy this? Do y'all think I should live stream more? Let me know in the comments what you think. Yes or no? Should I go live more? Okay. Now with this white, I'm gonna also do like some little stars. I remember when I was in school, we used to always do these cute little stars like that. So just do a line, bring that down. Little stars. Okay. And then some dots. I'm gonna put some dots around because kind of, you know, represent the snow and stuff. Some people like to just use a. Oh wait, no. So okay, there's two ways to do it. Then you'll say yes, please. Ah, nice. Okay, I'm definitely gonna go live more. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So some people like to take the end of the brush, the handle, and actually dip it in the paint, and then create dots that way. And you get a couple of the dots at that. So I know a lot of people who want the dots to stay the same size like to do that. Also, I'll dip it in here. And I'll also use the brush. So I kind of like to use the tip of the brush better. And of course, you won't always get the same size dot, but that's okay. I just made a giant one, didn't mean to, but that's okay. It's going to work. Put it all around. Let's make it some dots. Tanisha said maybe quarterly. I've enjoyed it. Nice. Yeah, Tanisha, I'm actually planning to do this once a month. Y'all got to hold me to it. I already got one on my Facebook event page for February 4th. I'm going to try to schedule them out so y'all can see what day. I'm going to try to switch the days because, like, today is a Saturday, and I know a lot of people's like they couldn't or they had to work. I'm going to try like a Thursday night. I know that's the night I used to always do my weekly things. But yeah, I'm going to try different days so different people have opportunity to join in. Okay, got our dots. Nice. Okay. Next, we're going to add let's get to this ornament. I keep neglecting this little green ornament. Okay. Small, tiny brush still. We're going to just draw a line. The edge. And thank you, Tanisha. I'm so glad you're enjoying this. Okay. Curve at the edge. Let's fill in this top because I never did fill in this top part of the ornament, right? I'm just filling that in with some white. So I always like to leave the end for like the details that's coming in like black and white. And we also need to write the year. If you want to leave your ornament plain, you can. If you want to write a word or something on here, you can. So I'm actually slanted. It's easier for me to paint slanted if I turn my picture. So I'm just write 2021. Now let's see if I can actually fit all this in here. I probably should have planned that a little better, but it's okay. 2021. Okay, got that in there. All right, let's see. Yellow. We've been neglecting, like we got little bits of yellow. It's not a whole lot. We're going to add some yellow. Tiny brush. I'm going to actually mix the yellow with white because yellow is another one of those colors that's very thin, just like red, and also purple is another one. And you will have to do like a lot of colors or a lot of coats for it to not be see-through. So I'm going to add white. It's going to make it more of a lemon yellow. That's cool. All right, white. I'm going to take this yellow, add it to the white. Okay. Now, so the fireworks we made with white, we're going to go in between or next to that actually. Add some yellow details. This is just going to brighten up our picture a little bit more. Make it look more vibrant. Same thing with this one. Just going in between, adding some brightness. I'm also going to throw a couple little yellow dots around in the background. Like, okay, we got snow. This could be stars or just, whatever. Bringing out the color. Making it sparkly and pretty. And I have not forgotten about the glitter glue. If y'all got glitter glue, we busting that out next. Dots, dots, dots. But yeah, I really hope y'all had a good time. My goal is to show people you can have fun while painting. Even if you're new to it, it doesn't have to be like stressful and like make you panic or nervous just because it's something that you need to practice, not need to practice more, but something that you're not like an expert in. I like to make art accessible for everybody because just with a few different steps and techniques, you can make something that you want to hang on your wall. All right, we got the dots. Next step, I want us to do black details. Yeah, okay, black details, then the glitter. So next, we're going to take black paint. I'm going to pick up some water. Let me pull my cup so y'all can see me get the water. And I'm just going to add it to a little part of it. And I'm just watering this down just so I can make cleaner lines with the black. I don't want it to be too thick and globby. All right, so thin black paint. And then I'm going to take this paint and we're going to outline a few different areas. So first I'm going to start with the candy cane. I'm going to just do a little bit. So on the green, I'm going to go right on top of that dark green. Remember those dark green lines we made? I'm going to use black. You see how that like just pops. Same thing with the deeper red areas. I'm going to add a little bit of black. I'm going to go over the berries. I'm going to hold it up closer so y'all can see it better. Berries, we're going to add a little bit of black along the edge. Here. Stuff is really just starting to look vibrant. That's what we want. Bringing it to life. Told y'all we didn't even do much blending. It's just all colors side by side. Couple little tricks. Make y'all look like Picasso. Okay, so then, oh yeah, don't forget this one. Couple little black lines here. Then outside the glass, we're gonna do a little bit of black. We're not gonna trace it all the way. That's gonna make it look too flat. We're gonna space, do a little bit. That's it. Same thing over here, a little bit. And it's really coming together. And y'all just did this in 2 hours. Actually, less than 2 hours because I started the stream early just so that it could be all set up. So this was like a little bit under 2 hours of painting. And I can't wait to see what y'all did. Okay, we got the black there. Want to add a little bit of black line right here too. Then you also have to buy more black paint. Yeah. Black and white are those two that you have to have like a lot of because you can go through it so quick. You could even use like a deep brown if you don't have black. Yeah, black and white are the ones you really want to have a good amount of. All right, so we got the black there. And then ornament, we're going to do underneath that curve. Trace that in black. On the side. And put a little. Okay, Danielle says that one a series or a movie. Which one are you talking about, Danielle? That you're asking if it's a series or a movie. Okay, so we got that. Got the ornament. The base of it, underneath that, I'm gonna add a black line. Now y'all see how that made it look like a shadow? I'm liking that. I'm still using my tiny brush. Okay, got that in there. Just double checking. I'm gonna add a little black line here at the edge. Okay. Then it's glitter time. So So I got some silver glitter glue. And I'm gonna hold this up close so y'all can see it. Or can you see it? So y'all see a little sparkles of glitter I put in there? I'm just gonna squeeze it. Mainly I was doing it along the glass. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it all over. So then you'll say quarterly. Okay, cool. Yeah, make sure y'all follow my Facebook page. Also my YouTube and Twitch channel, wherever you're watching right now. So that way when I do go live, you'll know. And then actually you can sign up for my newsletter. If you look in the description underneath this video, I have my links. And one is my newsletter. So that's the best way to keep up with what I'm doing. I'll send out reminders of like different stuff that's going on. So right now I'm just adding glitter glue. It's not the easiest to see on camera, but I'm doing it. And after this, y'all, we just sign on our name and that's it. We're done. I can't wait to see what y'all create. So Facebook people, drop a comment underneath. Show me what you made. Everybody else, I want y'all to email me or send me a message on social media. I would love to see your pictures. I'm adding some glitter to the background, just all over. Here. Here. There we go. I keep feeling like there's something else, but no, it's done. I'm going to leave it alone. I always do that. I already told y'all in the beginning, no perfectionism. Okay. Last step, we sign in our name. So small. I'm going to use a black brush. You can also use a Sharpie. I do that a lot. Like this one, I think I signed with Sharpie. They always say you don't want to paint, you know, sign with whatever you create it with. But paint is tricky sometimes. You know, do whatever your artist's signature is. 2021. There we go. That's it. So thank y'all so much for joining in. I had such a great time. I hope you did too. Let me pop this up. All right, so I had a great time. We have finished. We have a masterpiece today. We created our candy cane bubbly. Let me show y'all real quick. This was my before. This was my after. This one, I don't even know how long I spent. I spent a lot more time on this, but I really love how my new one came out too. So I would love it if you could drop a comment for my Facebook people to show me what it's looking like. For those of you who are not on Facebook, don't forget to message me. Tanisha said, love it. Thank you. Let me know if y'all got any questions or comments before we go. Don't forget you can subscribe to my email newsletter. That's in my link below. If you want to leave a tip, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/LizBrentArt. That's also in the link. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow so that you know what I'm doing. And according to y'all, I should live stream more. I had a good time. You know, unfortunately, I couldn't play music because, you know, copyright issues. So I'm getting used to that. It's okay. But if y'all book a paint party with me, I'm going to definitely have some good music going. But yeah, I had a really great time. And my dad said, awesome, Rosso. Thank you, Dad. I'm glad you had a good time too. Thank y'all for supporting me. Thank you to everybody who joined in. I had a great time with y'all. So I hope to see what you painted. Please send it to me. And until next time, I want y'all to take care and have a great rest of your weekend. Bye, everybody. Let's see if I can end this right, y'all. Hold on.